난 가끔 비닐하우스를 태워요.
뭐라고요?
가끔 비닐하우스를 태운다고요. 난 비닐하우스를 태우는 취미가 있어요. 들판에 버려진 낡은 비닐하우스 하나를 골라 태우는 거예요. 2달에 한 번쯤? 그 정도 페이스가 제일 좋은 것 같아요.
Charming or a confession? In Burning, you never really know. Lee Chang-dong's hypnotic slow burn mystery isn't about solving a crime, it's about falling into one. Based on a Haruki Murakami short story, Burning is filled with silence, tension, and a creeping sense of dread. Today we'll break it all down. What does Ben really mean? What's the truth behind Hae-mi's disappearance? And why does this film haunt you long after it ends? If you think you've figured out Burning, you might want to think again. Before decoding the film, we need to understand the mind behind it. Lee Chang-dong isn't your average director. He started as a novelist. He later became South Korea's Minister of Culture, and he's made only a handful of films, all devastating in their emotional depth. From Oasis to Poetry, his work centers on people left behind by society, the disabled, the grieving, the poor. With Burning, he adapts a short story by Haruki Murakami, adds details from Faulkner's barn burning, and builds something far more unsettling than either. This isn't a murder mystery, it's an existential crisis disguised as one.
Films are like dreams. They look like reality, but they are not. When we dream, we sometimes express desires that we do not usually show in real life. Those desires may even be fulfilled in our dreams. I think films have similar functions in people's lives.
Let's meet our triangle. Jong-su, a drifting young man, aspiring writer stuck between city and countryside. He's quiet, observant, and emotionally paralyzed. Hae-mi, a free spirit working dead-end jobs, fascinated by pantomime and dreams. She's searching for something but doesn't know what. Ben, wealthy, well-groomed, always smiling, but slightly off. He waters his plants, hosts dinner parties, and casually admits to burning greenhouses. This isn't just a love triangle, it's a class triangle. Jong-su is invisible, Ben is untouchable. Hae-mi is caught in between, and perhaps ultimately discarded. Ben's line about greenhouses? Maybe metaphor, maybe confession, maybe something far more terrifying. Indifference.
진짜. 석유를 뿌리고 성냥불만 던지면 끝. 다 타는 데까지 10분도 안 걸려요. 마치 처음부터 존재하지 않았던 것처럼 사라지게 할 수 있어요.
잡히면 어쩌려고.
안 잡혀요. 절대. 한국에는요, 비닐하우스들이 진짜 많아요. 쓸모없고 지저분해서 눈에 거슬리는 비닐하우스들. 걔네들은 다 내가 태워주기를 기다리는 것 같아요. 그리고 난 그 불타는 비닐하우스를 보면서 희열을 느끼는 거죠.
Sounds innocuous, but once Hae-mi disappears, it starts to haunt you. The greenhouse may represent women like Hae-mi, those who are overlooked, easily ignored, easy to erase. Ben doesn't seem angry. He's amused. That's what makes it chilling. What's more, the cat that may or may not exist, the well that may or may not exist. Everything in this film flirts with unreliability. Jong-su becomes obsessed with Ben, but his obsession says more about his own impotence than Ben's guilt. Underneath the mystery is a story about class resentment and wounded masculinity. Jong-su is poor, uncertain, emasculated. He has no future, no pride. Meanwhile, Ben represents everything he's not: power, wealth, calm detachment. The sexual tension is less about romance and more about who feels entitled to control the narrative. Ben never needs to raise his voice. That makes him terrifying. He operates in a realm beyond consequences, like Gatsby with a body count. And Jong-su? He starts unraveling not because of proof, but because he can't stand being powerless anymore. Without giving it all away, the final scenes of Burning are both shocking and inevitable. But here's the thing. Nothing is confirmed. There's no answer, no clarity, just the feeling of something profoundly wrong. And that's the point. Lee Chang-dong is showing us what happens when rage, isolation, and silence are allowed to simmer for too long. When people disappear, literally or metaphorically, and no one notices or cares. This isn't just a story about Hae-mi. It's about a system that allows her to vanish, and men who don't know what to do with that void.
난 그 불타는 비닐하우스를 보면서 희열을 느끼는 거죠. 그러면 여기서 베이스가 느껴져요. 뼛속까지 울리는 베이스.
Burning doesn't give you satisfaction. It gives you disquiet. It's a film you chew on for days. You rewind scenes in your head. You start to question what you saw and what you missed. That's the genius of Lee Chang-dong. He builds a puzzle with no solution. Because the real mystery isn't, did Ben kill Hae-mi? It's, why are we so desperate for an answer? In the end, the scariest thing isn't murder. It's ambiguity, and what we see when we stare into it.
그게 쓸모없고 불필요한 건지는 형이 판단하는 건가요?
난 판단 같은 거 하지 않아요. 그냥 받아들이는 거지. 그것들이 태워지길 기다리고 있다는 거를.